Welcome to day 16 of our 40-day journey through the Psalms. Today, our reading portion was Psalm 61 through Psalm 64. I hope you've enjoyed our time together traveling through the book of Psalms. I'd like to look today specifically at Psalm number 62. This psalm has been called by some the only or the alone psalm because of its emphasis on this word and this idea of trusting only in God alone. Let's take a look now at Psalm 62 together. My soul finds rest in God alone. My salvation comes from Him. He alone is my rock and my salvation. He is my fortress. I shall never be shaken. How long will you assault a man? Will all of you throw him down? This leaning wall, this tottering fence? They fully intend to topple him from his lofty place. They take delight in lies. With their mouths they bless, but with their hearts they curse. Find rest, O my soul, in God alone. My hope comes from Him. He alone is my rock and my salvation. He is my fortress. I will not be shaken. My salvation and honor depend on God. He is my mighty rock, my refuge. Trust in Him at all times, O people. Pour out your heart to Him, for God is our refuge. Low-born men are but a breath. High-born are but a lie. If weighed on a balance, they are nothing. Together they are only a breath. Do not trust in extortion or take pride in stolen goods. Though your riches increase, do not set your heart on them. One thing God has spoken. Two things have I heard, that you, O God, are strong, and that you, O Lord, are loving. Surely you will reward each person according to what he has done. Many believe that David wrote this psalm while the remnants of Saul's family were trying to dethrone him. We're not certain of this, but one thing is certain in this passage, that David has an unshakable trust, an absolute trust in God alone. Notice how he sandwiches here what's going on in his life with those passages about trusting in God alone as his rock and his fortress as his salvation. He begins in verses 1 or 2 talking about this. Then he spends a few verses telling what's going on. And then again in verses 5 through 7, he comes back to this idea of his absolute trust in God alone. Charles Spurgeon, when speaking of this passage, said, "It is a blessed thing to wait only on God. You have proved everything else to be a failure, and now you hang upon the bare arm of God alone." There is certainty enough for us to depend on there. David has put all his eggs in one basket here. There is no plan B. There's just God, and only God. God alone. He trusts that God is a God of justice, whose deeds and steadfast, saving love is backed up by unlimited power. He can be trusted to save. I would like to challenge you today, during these uncertain times, to find your certainty in God alone. When your mind starts to turn, when your heart starts to race because of uncertainties in health, in our nation, in finance, in family, in employment, or whatever, find rest in God alone.